Hood Postman, City, Hood, Click. Let's go.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray we all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is on the single field. Lock the door.
Lock the door. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Post. Shout out to Michelle. I see you on there. Keep what's going on. What's going on? Appreciate you guys. Welcome to the mailroom where you can come in and take a look at your mind, examine what's in your heart. You can go anywhere in the world to get a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth. Comedy girl, I see you. What's good, people? What's good? Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the 1st and the 15th. Guys, I'm telling you, this thing is phenomenal. It's powerful. We see it playing out right in front of our very eyes. Shout out to Monique. I see you in the house. We seeing it playing out right in front of our very eyes, but hopefully that it is free from the agent provocateurs and the haters, because there's always something to look to undermine and salvage and sabotage and underestimate and undervalue us as a people in our culture. Let's get to the content. We want what Kendrick Lamar is doing. It's not just a moment. It is a movement. It is a movement. And hopefully we can get New York to eventually New York, New Jersey, Philly, the DMV, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, and all other communities where Black people ought to essentially get on this train and follow it, because we need them to do the same thing in their areas. What Kendrick is doing here, it comes at a great risk, and I'm gonna give you an example. Remember the Travis Scott? Yeah, that's his name, Travis Scott. He did the Astro World Festival down in Texas, right? He came together and put together this project, and he was a leader of it. He put it together, and he took on the responsibility. When 10 lives was lost in 2021, they held him accountable for those lives. Now he have countless and countless and countless of lawsuits. So what Kendrick did came at a high risk, but he loved his people and he trusted his people that they wouldn't do anything that would invoke some type of violence that would change the dynamics of what he was trying to do for his culture, because this is a cultural phenomenon. And I believe that we all as a people, as Black people in these communities, one thing we could say, I think that we kind of all agree about how we feel about hip hop. That may be the one thing. I used to think it was just electric slide, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking like, wow, I see a lot of people that's like really involved in this hip hop. I think that we have found that common denominator amongst us, right? hip hop is a dynamic culture, right? It is a dynamic, ever evolving art form that continues to shape and define Black culture. That's what it's doing. While there may be some I'm gonna say ununanimous agreements on every aspect of the genre, but I can say that the ability to resonate with us as Black people seems to be, seem to supersede that. It seems to supersede that because the reason why they resonate, because of the people we share the same struggles and the triumphs, and we share the same undeniable things that happens in our culture. But hip hop remains a vital force in the ongoing fight in social justice, um, poverty, and things that we see play out in our communities that where we know better. We know better. There's only two, three other things that I see where Black people and brown people come together, and that's on the lowrider scene. We have a great time, and on the motorcycle scene, we seem to have great time doing that. But what we saw, we didn't have this in the 70s and the 80s where you could see Bloods and Crips, a big crowd of Bloods and Crips together doing something together. There was always some type of hate and animosity during those times. But this space and time right now is very different from that time. I'm telling you, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is great, right? Feeling good about it. I saw how Kendrick strategically went from the Forum, he went from to the Nicholson Gardens, he went to Towns, and then he went downtown Compton, down behind the library where the symbol of Compton is back there. And he put on. He put on for the city. And as you can see right here, I just got a little small clip. I took the sound out of it because I didn't want to get no strike board. But this you can see all these people right here. All these people right here just jumping up down, having a great time, moving, and just enjoying this festivities and everything that Kendrick is doing. But we still have to be aware of who's controlling a lot of this that's happening, right? And some of the gatekeepers, well, I'm gonna say former gatekeepers, like Russell Simmons, Andre Harrell, L.A. Reid, P. Diddy, they were the gatekeepers to the people that pushes the hip hop, right? You got the people that's in between the artists and the people that actually put up the money to push this hip hop. And they want a certain type of hip hop that's being pushed out there, right? And that was part of why you see Drake, because he has ties to the Jewish community. And shout out to him, by the way. And when he took on this thing with Kendrick, it really he wasn't ready for that. Now, a lot of people, because I think he's more celebrated in the pop scene versus than he is celebrated in the outright, straight out hip hop. And what Kendrick did was show him what culture looked like, because I really don't think that Drake know what culture look. I'm talking about Black culture, and come out and hang out with your people in your community, and be in the circle with them, jumping up and down, having a great time. Kendrick was not in fear of that because he come from this. But he have to be careful of how he pushed through, because once again, part of what happened to Travis Scott is Jay-Z. So this is how I'm looking at the dynamics of it. Now you have Diddy out the way. Andre Harrell is no longer. L.A. Reid is quiet. Russell Simmons has been pushed out the way because of allegations, right? So we have Jay-Z. It's interesting how Jay-Z just doesn't say a whole lot at this time, because he's actually the doorway between the people who own this stuff and produce it and put it out, and between the artists. And somehow you always find him right there with it. So I'm saying that to say this, that what's behind the reality, what's behind the appearance, it's always the reality. Once again, we come back to that. And since this being Sunday, I want to, and I'm going to take it there, guys. I'm going to take it there. Isaiah 45:7 for my church people. I want you to make me, however you choose to do it, or however you want to reach out to me. I know some of you Bible scholars is out there. I want you to make me understand this. I am the Lord, and there is none else. I form the light, I create the darkness. I make peace, and I create evil. Again, I create evil. I am the Lord, do all things. I want the Bible scholars, the Bible thumpers, the people that read the book every day and know this. I want them to explain that particular verse. I want them to explain that particular verse because there's something attached to that. Because when I look at the Bible, and I don't read the Bible a few times, from cover to cover. Most of what I see is death in the Bible, a whole lot of death. And most of the death that I see in the Bible was caused by God. Now, some people going to differ with me on that. But I like to tie all this thing because when I'm looking at things and how I envision and how I interpret things, I always got to look at the spiritual side, the physical side, and the mental side. I got to look at all aspects. I can't leave nothing unturned or nothing unlooked at. I got to look at it from that perspective. You guys may do something different. That's okay. Difference don't mean deficient. It just means that it's different. So when I see that, I have to try to understand and see how does this influence the culture? How does it impact the culture? How does these people interject their technology and their ideology into our culture, and it somehow at some point it starts wobbling, or it begins to shake, or the foundation ain't as strong as we like it to be. So that's why it's important. It's very important for New York, New Jersey, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Philadelphia, Tennessee, Louisiana, and other neighboring communities, the DMV, and all you guys to be a part of this movement. There's a difference between a moment and a movement. A movement is about culture that is advancing and moving in the right direction for the right reasons. And Kendrick Lamar has started a fire. And if we don't get involved, it will soon be doused out. That is my point. You don't have to follow it. You don't have to believe it, but that's just what I believe. Shout out to Raw Media. What's going on? Unique L. Hip hop got big problem, OG. It's dumbing down the black race. At some aspects of it, you try. But when we see Kendrick Lamar and what he's doing, hopefully Chicago, I forgot about Chicago. I don't want to leave them out. That they take the lead, Detroit, that they take the lead and start doing something similar, because they got conscious rappers over there. They got people that speaking to the people and speaking to what's going on in the communities, and 40 people getting killed in Chicago in one weekend, and everybody trying to blame the gang members, but who's really behind all these tragedies? Because God said himself, he created dark and he created the peace, and he also created evil. That's God's word in their Bible. So if I'm going to keep following that, then I have to understand that sometimes that's going to apply. But if I just get away from that and I figure out something different, and then there it is there. We on another different path, guys. Kendrick definitely challenged his fans to look within. And that's the point right there. He challenges his fans to look within. And part of our problem is people like Jay-Z. He's part of something that we don't necessarily truly understand and know what it is. We don't. But as you see, everybody that's been behind him, that was in front of him, are now moved out the way. And he's standing there alone. Jay Prince, the Swift Beats, and all these other guys, if they got to get something done, they go through Jay-Z. When Pusha T was on the guy Drake, they got Jay Prince got involved and they put Jay-Z in it. Okay, behind the scenes. I'm telling you guys, this stuff is just not just what you see. The Gangbangers Life Coach. What's going on? What's going on? Snoop East Siders and the Dog Pound. New stuff still gangbanging. Yeah, well, hopefully, like I say, we got to turn the tide. We got to turn the corner on this stuff. Because how long can we continue to do that and we don't get into stuff that's gonna help motivate the culture? You guys saw us out there. New York was looking at that. Jersey was looking at. Philly was looking at. They can also do the same thing, though, with the right people in place. Just don't let Jay-Z put his hand on it. As Jay-Z gonna work in the obstacles of the people with the money, the real gatekeepers, the people that own Sony and Warner and Universal, who is BlackRock. I think it's BlackRock and one of the Vanguard. Two different companies own all the music. See, those are guys behind the guys behind the guys. So it's a succession of people that's involved in this, and they are strategically picking certain music to be put out, because if you look at what's going on, when you see how the behavior are certain, the Sexy Red, the Sukianas, and then the NBA Young Boys, and then the guy that's in the Young Thug and all that, you see their behavior. It's not normal. It's not normal. And then when you go read the Bible, you see where God killed over 300 million people himself in the Bible. I don't see the devil. The devil ain't claimed to kill nobody. So is it just a real thing, or is it just a state of mind? Heaven and hell is just a state of mind. Is that really what it is? They just don't want you to know. They want you to keep believing. While a certain group of people get their heaven on this earth, they want you to keep looking up in the sky for yours. That's a distraction. That's a distraction. Kendrick is organic. Drake is processed. Yeah, that could be that. Yeah. The timing was also good, considering that it was during Juneteenth. Yes, I agree. But like I say, guys, we still have to be aware of certain individuals, because right now we need everybody to be inspired by Kendrick Lamar, and engage with the movement. Because it's important that they do it. Don't sleep on this, New York. Don't sleep on this, Jersey. Don't sleep on this, Philly. Don't sleep on this, DMV. Florida, don't sleep on this. We don't have enough of the Spot'em Got'ems, the Migos, and all that other stuff. We don't have enough of that. We don't have that phase. Let's get out of that. Let's move on to something else. Like I say, one thing we have that we seem to have in common, that we all have a piece of some type of hip hop that we all love. Now, it may not all look the same, but it's all centered around that culture. And that's what we have in common. So let's work on that common denominator and begin to build and grow from there. Facts from Haven is here and now. Family, please believe it. Yep. Facts, family. Let me read it right. Heaven is here and now, family. Please believe it. There you go. Yes. And right, because Kendrick looks deeper into the guys. Kendrick knows who Jay-Z is. Jay-Z is very powerful in this hip hop. Trust and believe that. Now, everything that Diddy is going through or he's experienced, Diddy knew about it. I mean, Jay-Z knew about it before it even hit Diddy. He knew it was coming. Trust and believe that. Hope you guys enjoyed your yesterday. I was out in Hollywood as well with Bosco. He was, doing He was promoting this movie out there, out there on the Walk of Fame with all the other people. You know what was shocking about that? I seen dudes out there renting not Lamborghinis, Ferraris. People would just be walking up in Hollywood. They want to see Hollywood. They take them for a ride in a Ferrari for $89. I thought that was interesting. Also, Kendrick's for Compton is payback for what Eazy-E was to become. Oh, that's a good, interesting point. That is a good, interesting point. I still believe that Eazy-E was assassinated, bro. I'm gonna go back and grab Dirty Dave, because Dirty Dave, right? That was Eazy-E's best friend growing up. He knows some stuff, but he's scared to say it. You gotta hear him. When I talk to him on the phone, he say one thing and behave one way on the camera, but behind the scenes, he knows stuff, but he don't want to say it. And I'm like, Dave, what's holding you back? Is they watching you? Is somebody pressing you, or because he'll give me good tad bids and then he'll stop talking. He don't want to go no further. But I'm able to smart enough to see that it's more to it than what he's saying in regards to Eazy-E, because he was Eazy-E's best friend. And he talked in real deep and long terms about Eazy-E, and some stuff he wouldn't allow me to put on camera. So Kendrick Lamar also says that he'll give Drake respect under one Tupac related condition, that he return the ring. I didn't know about that. Did any of you guys know about that? That Kendrick Lamar said he'll give Drake respect under one Tupac related condition, that he return the ring. Eazy-E stuck a deal with the devil. Yeah, you're probably right about that. And he just didn't realize it, though, because you got to understand that before Eazy-E, there was no precedence. Now you have plenty of precedents to look at, and blueprints and the way other people did stuff. But before Eazy-E, there really was no precedence. There was no precedence out there showing you the right way to navigate. You know, of course, because she wrote probably one of the most skilled and extensive book on the music business to anybody. Scarwolf, what's happening, man? JC, no more to prove one another. All warriors set in similar tribes and mentalities, same struggles. Can you do it again for something like that through the Unity Walk? OG Bam talk about. I believe so. I think Kendrick has the star power and the power to, because obviously he bought the Hoovers out, he bought the Crips out, he bought the Pyrus out, he bought the Bloods out. Kendrick had all those people out there. Now I'm gonna tell you, you'd have never seen nothing like that in the 70s. You'd have never seen nothing like that in the 80s. We couldn't even be in the same parks on the same lowrider scenes back then. And even in the 90s, this stuff that you're seeing now is new, bro. It's new. It's been a minute, man. Yeah, you're right. It's been a minute, bro. How you been? So what I'm saying, man, this justice and equality and liberation within the Black community, it's beyond. It's going beyond. You know, it's something that has to go beyond. What else you got? Anybody else got any commentary on this? Oh, Asiatic Supreme, what's up, man? We need Public Enemy or something like that back in the culture. Kendrick is approaching that. Yes, yes, yes. But you know, like Public Enemy said, freedom is a road seldom traveled by the multitude. That's Public Enemy. Freedom is a yeah. Something different, man. Something different. I like what I saw. I like what I was feeling, you know. You see all that. He hopped from all those different places. It went on, and then he finally landed in Compton on the over there at the City Hall, you know. But here's again, right? All that came at a great risk because if you go back and look at what Travis Scott did in Astroworld Festival, and 10 people lost their lives in 2021, he's still fighting that. He's fighting lawsuits up. He's liable to be broke after all this. And that's the point. They give you all you got and all you can handle, but they're gonna find a way to take it all back. That's even when, when Gangster and myself and everybody else was in the drug game, right? They find a way to take all that back. They let you get so far, then they find a way to take it all back. And you back to ground zero. It's like a 360. You wind up right back at the same place you started from. Yeah, that was I talked about that the day Friday. I talked about the four iconic moments in West Coast hip hop was the Tupac show at the House of Blues was one, and then Nipsey Hussle, of course, that was that, and I talk about Kendrick Lamar. And what was my fourth one? Can't even remember what my fourth one was, but yeah, talk about four. Hey, Trey's out. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, Black West, that definitely was a cool moment. That was a cool moment right there to see all those brothers come together and tie their rags and set aside their differences, and be there for that brother. We shouldn't have lost that brother, man. We lost that brother too soon. He was another smart, intelligent, iconic brother that had a lot going on and was a lot in front of me, but he had his head stuck just a little too much into the gang culture. That's just my opinion on that. That's just my opinion, guys. Don't make it true. I think he just, I think at some point you got to have go-betweens when you're dealing with that, because there's always going to be jealousy, hatred. We talked about how jealousy can hide in compliments and envy can hide in support and love can hide in hate. We already talked about that, and we see it every day, and that's being propagated in our culture. It's being pumped in, injected in individuals who don't, for some reason, they fight and shoot. They don't read and write. So when you fight and shoot, there's only two or three places you go, and that's the hell, and where hell, in the bottom of a jail cell is hell, but death, or you're either in a wheelchair. Kid out is sitting at a great spot to make things different. I hope he takes advantage of it. I hope he do too, bro. Let's see what he said. Mel, you came from a good home. What did your parents say about you being, man, man, my parents did not like that, bro. Did not like that because they knew it was nonsense. They knew, and they would, they did their best to try to make me understand it, but my mind wasn't developed enough to understand the totality and the things that was up ahead that I wouldn't see, that was late, that would come at some point. And they tried to warn me of it because, like I said, my father was a career military man, and my mother was a homemaker, and she works too. But yeah, my mother worked in electronics. My father worked at, he was a career military man. He also worked for Alcoa Aluminum. Yes, people from both sides rock with Kendrick, from both sides. Everybody in Compton loves Kendrick because he makes everybody included. He includes everybody, bro. He don't leave nobody out. Like you seen that little clip, you saw the Hispanics out there, you saw the brothers out there, you white people out there, the white people that really believe in this hip hop. No matter who you are and where you are on the streets in the city, your reign only lasts 5 years at best. Explain, is it 5 years in gang bang or 5 years in hip hop? Explain that part, Damon. Yeah, PE definitely sparked a lot of people. Ex-Clan, PE, Poor Righteous Teachers. The game. And we talked about the game, and the game keep going on Instagram explaining. If you got to explain that many times, game, there's definitely a problem somewhere because they left you out of the Super Bowl. Now you didn't show up at K Dot's, you know, situation. So there's obviously something going on there. I don't know what it is, but there's something going on there. And hopefully at some point, game, you do better with the circumstances, situation, and get past it, bro. Because we need you too. We need you too, gang. We need you to be, right there. Soldier up, bro. Soldier up. Get about your emotions or your feelings. Yeah, yeah, that's right. NWA, Death Row, Era, Nipsey, and Kendrick Lamar movie are the four. Yeah, yep, you're right, Rob. I agree with you. I do agree. I do agree with you, Mr. Cool. We tried the rags before during the steady dipping era. I wait to see if Kendrick builds an institution in Compton for the kids. Maybe coding or science. That is a great idea. That is a great because that's where we at today. Coding, science. You guys you hear me talk about the five things that move the world more than anything is science, mathematics, chemistry, biology, and physics. My parents said the same. Exactly. DJ Maniac, Kendrick Lamar is a serious MC. He's very serious, bro. And you know what? That was cool how J. Cole recognized it because J. Cole, he's cold on the mic, but he recognized something different about Kendrick. So he decided to take himself out of that. Even when Rick Ross lined himself with Kendrick, you know what I mean? And then not Jay-Z, but Game started going at the Rick Ross guy, right? Rick Ross didn't even say nothing because he knew it wasn't even what Game was saying to him wasn't even worth responding to because he was trying to create his own type of beef, or I don't know what he was trying to do, but it just didn't sound right to me. From the hub to the hub, salute to Hood Postman. In the NWA De La Soul, Too Short, Public Enemy, and all were toured together circa 1988. Yes. After this, can Drake show his face on the East West without it? I think he can, but I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust it. No, I wouldn't trust it. I would not trust it. They don't like the game. What do you mean by that? They don't like him. I think he's a phenomenal MC. I think he's good. But what do you mean they don't like him? You little poor righteous sushi. Exactly, Asiatic. They didn't invite him at the Super Bowl in the pop-out show. No, they didn't. The gang said Dr. Dre didn't help his career. I wonder why. Dr. Dre didn't help a lot of careers. Dr. Dre helped the careers that he knew that was going to excel to the very top. 50 Cent, Eminem, let's see, Snoop, Kendrick, all those careers right there. I'm talking about went to the very top. They didn't go mediocre. They didn't go halfway. They went to the top. All those people that Dre, the Tupacs and all that, even the Dog Pound, they all at one time was king of the road, bro. But what do you think about what the minister said, calling Kendrick the boss? Does that make him a target? Should he have said that about him like that? I know he said some nice, kind words, but what do you guys think about what he said? The Hood Flame, the Watts Prophets. That's the first rap album called Rapping Back in a White World. Yep. 1971. Believe rap came from the West Coast is a missing history. That's definitely something to follow. The Game, just Jay-Z, Eminem, and 50 Cent. But like again, Jay-Z, having it been for Jay-Z, none of those people that was there at the Super Bowl wouldn't have been there. Because again, I'm telling you, Jay-Z is the gatekeeper. He is the new gatekeeper. And you're not going to get to the top unless Jay-Z say so. How many people have, where's Pusha T today? I haven't heard anything from Pusha T. Have you? Not saying that he's not relevant in New York or wherever he's at, but I'm talking about as far as being across the globe and like a Kendrick Lamar and a Drake and a J. Cole. Where is Pusha T? Because he couldn't, Jay-Z, even though he don't necessarily like Travis Scott built his own self. He built his own self. He had already had a machine. He's like the even the guy. What's the guy down there in Kansas? He's a monster. Tech Nine is a monster in this game. He got merchandise. He got the music. He got everything. He owns everything, and he got a following of white people, black people, and brown people that just don't quit. Follow Tech Nine to the. So that's how you really do it. He really understands it. I'm saying gang banging, dope dealing is fine. It's yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. People don't know that gang banging is really about that much because of the consequences and the depth which you extend yourself or overextend yourself. Because here's the thing, you got to put yourself in victim status every day. Every day you either standing out there with that goddamn it, or you not without the goddamn. If you without the goddamn it, then somebody come through and you ain't got it, boom, you out of there. If you with the goddamn it and the police come through, boom, you out of there. So it's like, man, and then you got to be lucky every day. How many times can you be lucky every day? The police can be lucky just one time. The people that's looking to take you out, all they have to do is be lucky one time. So the odds and the numbers don't favor you if that's where your head is. If you wake up every day intentionally to gang bang, intentionally, at some point, you're going to lose that. You're going to lose the right to live, bro. J. Cole dissed and apologized. He did. J. Cole went light skiing on Drake. That's funny. Let's see what Rob Media. I went up there with Whoopty yesterday. I saw him yesterday. The gang chose sides by bringing Drake to Compton for their video shoot, and more importantly, trying to diss Rick Ross doing the beat while Ross was on K. Yeah, that was a little weird right there, gang. That was a little weird. And then what's with the Hebrew Israelite beard the gang be wearing? What is all that? I mean, I ain't got nothing against beards, but I don't think that's more of what we do on the West Coast. I just don't believe it, but maybe so. I don't know. Prove me wrong. He recognized a king in hip hop. J. Cole chose his battle wisely. I agree. Gang tried to be too close to Dre. What do you mean? You mean Dre didn't want him up in there? Or Gang was trying to force his way into something that he couldn't force his way into? Or he tried to bully his way in? What's that? After all, Dre is from Compton too, so you know he don't have his little incidents, with the what was the girl named D from what was that? What's Rap? What was that name of the show? D Barnes when Dre whooped her. But the peers don't like it. But the peers don't like him. And that was, I mean, I ain't laughing at D Barnes, but that was like a serious moment for Dre. He could have lost his whole career behind that, but he straightened himself up. But the gatekeepers came in and helped him fix that problem. The Jimmy Iovine is one of those keepers, bro. And Dre have a very, very good relationship with Jimmy Iovine. And Jimmy Iovine probably have fixed a lot of things for certain people in that industry. Uh Compton or Canada. Jack, the game chose Canada. That's funny. He from Compton though, man. How you gonna choose Canada? I never met Alonzo, but I'm well aware of who he is, but I never met him personally. Yeah, Rick Ross showed up at the forum, man. Did you see Russell Westbrook up there, James Harden? You seen LeBron James? These are all the people that does probably don't unfollow Drake. you know, that mustard beat, man. That mustard beat, that West Coast mustard beat hit real hard. How we like that drum, we like that bass, that hard bass, boom, boom, boom. We love it. DJ Maniac know what I'm talking about. Yes, the game is a phenomenal MC, and I always thought Exhibit was better. Exhibit gets busy. Yeah, I hear you, but disagree with some dudes have much longer runs than their banging careers. But jail worse is ultimately the outcome unless you make a change. Yeah, you have to make a change. You have to. Game banging is a very, very, very short-lived lifestyle. I think LA doesn't gravitate to the game. Maybe his personality. He does kind of got like, because I knew his dad. I knew his dad, George Taylor. And when they lived on Willow, Gang was a kid. No way was he ever involved with Santana, any of that. His mom was the mail lady at the time, and they lived next door to Killer Wayne house, then Big Baby Boy, which was Carl's house, then George's house was next there where Gang them grew up. And from what I saw and seen, they wasn't even allowed to come out the yard during that time when they lived in Willow. So they was kind of sheltered, and they knew that everything that was out on the street was Willow was very violent and dangerous. So I don't, fault George for keeping his kids indoor and not letting them out to that what was happening out on Willow. Because you got Killer Wayne, you got Keith Ray, you got Kizzy, Sleepy, you got Bad Habit Rabbit, you got Mia that live right there, and you got Zabo, you got let's see, other homies that lived on there, the Feets that lived down the street. Yeah, there was a lot of homies right there on Willow, where Gang dad lived at the time. And George used to come out there and box with Killer Wayne sometime. That was funny. As Killer Wayne always looking to have a boxing match. Killer Wayne wanted to box any and everybody, so George used to come out there boxing. But George was really from Nutty Block. He grew up in Nutty Block. So again, the gang loyalty doesn't align with the West or the B car. He always choose. Let's see. He always choose the other. What's good, bro?
What's good, man? What's going on, man? All right.
Man, what's happening with you? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm just I was looking at your topic, man, and there's a lot that's going on, bro. There's so much you know, like your title said, is the rap game the only thing that we can agree on? And my answer right now is no.
Mhm.
And and the only reason why I'm saying no, because right now there's a dilemma between, of course, you got Latinos trying to say they're part of rap, they help invent rap and all that stuff, and
Mhm.
we all know that that's not true. Period. You know,
Mhm.
so that's going down. Then you got, you got the brothers who are addressing the Mexicans on their
Uh-huh.
anti-blackness and their anti-racism toward black people. You got more brothers now who are now doing that, telling Mexicans, no, bro, y'all are racist. Y'all have some issues with us, and we need to get to the table and talk about it before things get kind of funky.
Right.
Um, and then, bro, I was I was really, you know, I'm gonna speak on this because I'm a black man, and whatever brothers do does affect me some way or somehow. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And um, I was kind of um, I'm disappointed in the fact that you guys, you and Frog and all your guys are starting to have this issue, man. I'm like, man, come on, brothers, this is not the time.
Listen, bro, we ain't here to talk about that. We
Yeah.
talk. I don't moved on from there.
Right. Yeah, and the doubt is on my chest because, like I said, I watch a lot of your content, bro, a lot of it, and I was glad to see some things that was addressed. But yeah, man, but we can't, agree. I was talking to a buddy of mine last night, and he's from San Diego, and
Uh-huh.
we got into a little back and forth, and we were going back and forth between Chicanos and Mexicans. Is there a difference? And I would tell him, yeah, there's a slightly difference, bro. And but because his thing is that we need to really call out their anti-blackness, and we need to hold on to our culture and our rap culture, etc. That's ours, and they don't know why these cats was mad because
What I saw a podcast, and they were addressing they felt like they were left out of the propaganda.
right.
If they weren't left out is because they don't fully understand what it is that we do, and they kind of like underestimate, undervalue, and marginalize it because they align themselves with white supremacist talking points often, right?
Right. Yeah.
They don't necessarily really realize that's what they're doing. I don't think they do it on purpose. It just kind of that's where they find themselves, right? So when they was talking about Juneteenth, they was talking about the bombing of Oklahoma and all this,
Oklahoma, right. Yeah.
and it had nothing to do with
In
Juneteenth.
fact, no, it
So
didn't. No.
I'm saying though, they information poor when it comes to.
Right.
They don't even understand that Vasco Yanga was an African freedom fighter, helped free Mexico to become independent. They don't
Exactly.
understand that, you know. So
Right.
until they understand those things, they're going to always be somewhat in the blind because this culture, this thing we call culture, is much bigger than just Europeans. Or Europeans are the last people to come into this what we call race, right?
Hmm.
And that's exactly what it means when we use the term race, but that's what it is. It is a competition. It has become a competition. And back to one of your other things where you talked about game bangers, the game bangers in which game bangers, right, receive only which they give, right? And in the game of life, there's a game of boomerangs. And
Right.
the boomerangs are the game banger's thoughts, actions, and deeds, and his words will return to sooner or later with astounding accuracy. Until they understand that, then always, man, we'll see them. We'll see here today, going tomorrow, here today, going tomorrow, here today, going tomorrow. And that's
Yeah.
what most people, our people, have to understand that we don't have to be this tough machito, as Hispanic let's call it, machito bravo, bodacious, or this braggadocious type of person,
Mhm.
macho person. When I see you, I should be able to say, "What's up, black man? How you doing?" Instead of just, I'm just gonna look at you like that, you know.
Right.
Been trying to read what my face is saying, But you looking at it, you like, wait a minute, man, I don't even know this dude. Why is he looking at me? But for some reason, we seem to be wrapped up in that,
Mm.
which is no good. But as to what you were saying about the hip hop, every last one of us loves some aspect of hip hop. And that's why
Yes.
that is the common denominator that we can use to bridge the gaps. Because only thing we do right now together without a hitch is the electric slide. We do that without anything going wrong. The electric slide is so synchronized and poetry is just,
Right.
you
Right.
sit there and like to see it going, but back to what you were saying. Go ahead, finish your thoughts.
No, I like that point, those points that you was making, and like I said, man, I've always I used to live in Pasadena, bro. I used to live in Pasadena. I lived in Pasadena for about 30 years before I moved back on the East Coast.
Uh-huh.
And my little hangout spots was Leimert Park. That was my hangout spot. I used to like to go to that bookstore, S.O.1 bookstore. That was my favorite spot.
Echelon, yeah,
Yeah, that was my favorite
Dawa,
spot.
it was Dawa, Echelon, and Rosie Milliken. Those are the
Yeah,
three.
right. And I used to go to I used to go to Sylvia Hosen all the time to eat all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And so I was familiar with Black Los Angeles. Like I said, I lived there for almost 30 years.
Where you
Um,
living now, by the way?
I'm back home, man. I'm back on the East Coast, right, man. I'm back in Delaware, man. I'm back on the East Coast,
So what
right
do you
next to.
think about what I said? That essentially New York, New Jersey, Texas, Georgia, Florida, Philly, Tennessee, the DMV, Chicago, Illinois, all these people, they need to find a way to get on board and do the same thing.
Right, right, right. Yeah, right. Exactly. And man, I'm telling you, and I just lost my nephew a month ago, man. He was murdered, and he got shot. He was at a carnival, and these are young boys now, 16, 17 years old. One of the young boys, he pulled out his heat, and he let off on my cousin three times, and
Wow.
yeah, and killed him. And so I had to deal with that. That was my brother only son. That was my brother, his only son. And so I had to deal with that. But man, hip hop is ours, man. I try to. I reached out. I remember some months ago. I reached out to the Mexican dude named Dub, and I was trying to explain to him, and because his thing was like it's all about business. I said, no, bro. If you're gonna stick a shank in a black man's back, bro, that's not business, bro. That's personal. I said, I don't know why you keep saying that. If someone's trying to kill me, that's personal. That's not business. And I said that's my logic in it. But you know, Dub has some issues too that he needs to deal with. It's unfortunate. Um, um, so I reached out. I called in his program before. I called and talked to that.
Let me say this though, before you go any further. Nothing is ever 100%. You're speaking in generalization. So
Right,
there are very good down to earth brown people that I grew up with.
right, yeah, it is, yeah,
And exactly everything you're saying. But then there's percentages of them because there's a lot. What happens though, when they go in to fill out an application, they had the opportunity to mark white on their application.
right, yeah,
And
right,
once
right,
they do that, they wind up with the type of jobs that they really want. And once they get into those job settings, they become indoctrinated into that culture, right? They
yeah,
begin to take on some of the personas and some of the personalities of them people to continue to climb the ladder. And they will often shun their own people by doing that. But
mm.
it's another story. I appreciate you joining us, but I got to move on. But salute to you, man, and keep
Yeah, man.
continuing
Same to you, man. And
to continue to share, man. I appreciate you, bro.
yeah, yeah. I'll call him some more, bro. But it was a good thing, man. If like I said, this is my first time calling your show. I called a lot of times on your show. I've called in a few times. I called in that night that you had the Hebrews on. Remember? I called in then. Yeah, I
Okay.
called. Yeah, we had the Hebrews on. That was a good show. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, man.
All
Talk to you
right,
soon.
man.
All right.
All right.
Oh, that was interesting. So you guys get the gist of what I was saying. But anyway, guys, I had to bounce up out of here. Hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. As me, I will go out and just relax and enjoy it. Peace and blessings. Be sure to increase the intellect, wisdom, and understanding, and purify your heart and purify your mind. And let your entry be by the gate in truth and honor, and likewise, and let that exit be by the gate in truth and honor. With that being said, lock the door.
Cali finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money, got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products to the feds get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. I leave bad man and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking, and I don't talk about it, I just make it happen.